Hey, welcome to another Topic Tuesday. This is Dr. Mike McCall, Source Health Center. I want to talk about gluten slash wheat slash what the heck's it all about. At this particular time, we have what we consider a gluten-free diet, which is eat anything that doesn't have the protein gluten in it. It works really well. So if you're a reader of Michael Pollan when it comes to food manufacturing in the United States and policy in the U.S., you will kind of understand what I'm going to be talking about now. So Michael Pollan is a good book on Omnivore's Dilemma. He wrote that book. Really good book on like how in the United States we characterize our food and how we process our food. But the other part is a lot of people are under the impression that all they have to do is eliminate gluten to get rid of some of the problems they think is related to the gluten. And sometimes I've seen some patients that get the gluten-free out, so they're eating breads and pastas and things in packages that say gluten-free and they think they're safe. And I have to say, unfortunately, not. A lot of it is the way that we process the food in the United States. So imagine, if you will, if we went back 200 years ago and further on, we would, because we didn't have possible refrigeration, obviously, or transportation, we would have to grow our grain. We would have the miller, and the miller would take the grain and grind it for us, and the bread. And it was almost like a sanct, if I'm pronouncing that right, relationship where we really wanted the farmer to wholesomely make the wheat and the miller to grind it. And when we use all of that, when it has every single property of that original wheat, it'll have the wheat germ oil in there, which is a great form of vitamin E. There's lots of great B vitamins in unprocessed wheat, in the sense of stone ground, where you just take it, you grind it, you bake all of it instead of strip it. And it also had a lot of fiber, which helps us with our blood sugar. So a lot of times we may not be reacting to the gluten, but our body is going, where's the rest of the nutrition? And if you look at a bread, or if you look at the box, you'll see it says enriched. And really what that means is that with the high steam press, which is kind of replaced the stone grounding, they take the wheat in, they boil it up to very high temperatures, and then they press it out. It destroys a lot of those nutrients that I just mentioned. And so what happens is the manufacturers just kind of told the powers that be, which are the regulatory agents of the United States, of going, hey, this is the same thing. It's exactly what, and it does work to a degree. I mean, we're not having plague, we're not having rickets, we're not having cretinism or goiters, these old things. But what we're seeing now is that our bodies are still reacting. It may not be the gluten that might be the problem. It's just that all the research and everything says gluten's the problem. So if you're considering that some things may be affecting your diet, I'd highly recommend that you stick to eating whole foods, which are meats, eggs, vegetables, fruits, and eliminating anything in a box or a can to see if that will affect you. So gluten isn't quite the problem. You can read our blog, Source Health Center. We got a blog, we just wrote about it. We're doing a collaboration between me and Jess. So until then, we'll see you next Tuesday.